It's here for any other from Mama Kwaba ever daily update you. So send in daily kind of a channel. So make sure so tap on the subscribe button. Nothing so tap on the notification bell on the send away. I also submit to my already new update the two channels or more when you're in politics. That's answer should be say. Go to share video so by like it. Now I share them. That's all watching trivia FF video one or the comment session. Your budget ya can kind answer so edema. Some yam no duka say the air President John Dramani Mahama idea or my update on the air suspended Chief Justice ne petition uncle for the man say idea on sake mameno in free any post on idea ma pay papa abema update on Wakan simpi edi afa ho me pese be kwa kuti free President John Dramani Mahama sanso na se ukupim ewo Akroma no fa ya dia NPP supporters ewo ho samre de ya dia o ma share press conference ase na chese chant na mo chant gu je men sanso de enya asem kweto e be sa kwhwe da video no se ti ensem ne ndin kan kuti free President John Dramani Mahama ewo ni brief update o dia ma ewo suspended Chief Justice Mame Torkornoo ho any baby asisi ani case ni remove an so baby akudu
undertaking your work in earnest, as the chairman of the council has stated. We've referred several things to the council for advice, mostly in respect of appointments to governing boards and other statutory institutions. And I want to thank you for the approvals you have given us and for expediting the work of government. It's helped us to more speedily than any government in the past have persons in place to begin to prosecute the reset agenda that we have. On the issue of governance, we've had the difficult issue with regards to the suspension of the Chief Justice, and of course the Council of State was involved in a part of that process, and so we've done our part. The rest is left with the committee that was set up to come out with whatever its findings are, and based on that, whatever the consequential issues are will be dealt with.
A number of the NPP party supporters here in the Akroma North Constituency have gathered here at the office of the NPP's parliamentary candidate for the Akroma North Constituency, Nana Ekuefree, ahead of the party scheduled press conference here at her office in the constituency. Ahead of this press conference, the party, the candidate herself had filed a case in court as of Monday on the rerun of the election, citing some previous directives from the court to compel the EC to complete the coalition process, and the fact that if the EC goes ahead to do this rerun would be a violation of that previous court directive. A date is yet to be scheduled to hear the case proper, but ahead of that, or on the back of that court case, the party is holding a press conference this Tuesday morning in order to address a few issues. It is unclear what the party's position would be if the EC goes ahead to do the rerun, as to whether or not they would be partaking in the election, as well as other key issues that are coming up. And so in a moment, either the party general secretary Justin Frimpong Kodua or his deputy general secretary Haruna Mohammed will be addressing the media to give out their position on the issues at hand, and whether they will be partaking, importantly, whether they will be partaking in the elections on Friday, July 11. And so we are here to cover that and keep you updated on all our social media platforms from the office of Nana Ekuefree here in the Akroma constituency. James Abeji here reporting for Joy News.
The MP Electoral of the Kuala. Honorable.
At the center of all this is the Electoral Commission. You have the opinion, you seem to agree and disagree at the same time with Johnson and Sidin Ketia. You think that this is a constitutional body, is independent, so the law must be followed and it should not be done capriciously. But I seem you do not disagree with the fact that this group of electoral commissioners, especially the top three, need to go.
Yeah, coming from Mr. Sidun Katia, the chairman, whom I call general chairman, will make the thing appear partisan and political. Allow people like us who have always been calling for their head to do so that if a commission of inquiry, probably through the president in consultation with the Council of State, can set up that. But you see, once the chairman has spoken, you realize how the NPP has latched on that. So tomorrow, if these people are removed, and the NPP also win power some years to come, then they will also be going after the head of whoever will be the electoral commissioner or the body of commissioners. But you see, certain things will have to be done according to the constitutional provision. The former president removed, shall also say, based on procurement breaches. Meanwhile, the former president supervised blatant procurement breaches in the various sectors of the economy, of which he and the Mahama presided over. But you see, he had a constitutional provision of which he followed. The law is the law. So follow the law. That is a call by the chairman, which I agree, but coming from him is that which I disagree, because it gives it partisan currency. And that's not something that anybody wants, because it is an independent commission. And as I told you earlier on, the point is that you have seen how the NPP, element within the NPP, are now linking the Chief Justice's, what do we call that? Petition against her removal to that of the Electoral Commission. Even long before the chairman called for that, Mr. Afenyo-Markins and the like had already predicted that they know that from the Chief Justice they are going to the Electoral Commission. That was a speculation. But for it to come from the chairman of that repute, Mr. Sidun Katia, of that high repute, it will what? Fuel the partisanship. That is where I disagree with him. You understand? But other than that, some of us, you see, I have said, one day I was having my bath and I was thinking about the issue. I said that, look, conducting an election in which it does not degenerate into war, it doesn't mean that there is the presence of peace. It doesn't mean that your democracy is stable. No. There are inherent inefficiencies and incompetencies displayed by the current Electoral Commission. If not the fact that Ghanaians decided to overwhelmingly vote for the NDC, for which manipulation and maneuvering, had become interminably difficult, I'm very sure that will have seen more people dying than in 2020 and 2024. Because the way and manner they delayed the coalitions was not by accident, because it was one too rampant at different places, at different constituencies in the country. It was one too rampant. So nobody should tell you and convince you that that was not an orchestration. It was an orchestration. And that's the more reason why some of us are calling for a body of inquiry to investigate procurement, to investigate the acquisition of biometric machines, to investigate that biometric devices that got lost, for which it became a banter between the chairman, Mr. Sedun Katia, the EC, and the NPP. So many things that ought to be investigated over there. So many things. And so if you sit idle thinking that you have won the elections, it is not a given that our system is foolproof. It is not. Besides, even removing the commissioners may not in any way create an administrative efficiency. It will have to take the new commissioners that would have been, appointed or whatever, to ensure that those things are done appropriately, so that when you lose fairly. When you win fairly. That is something that we must all be on board as a form of protecting our democracy. So it's
Inti so ekuye free if you there chanting Kesi no more chanting say more catch age mensa say omujo mu sit den. Omujo mu sit in every one na chese omujo free rabna oben ensem. Mi we rabna oben you onkita sit in dada. Omde almost omontia say court Emma easy quince on your run bia enfa abrokuma no for and so all of a sudden also be a run wabra court Emma no de bia enti enyina nim se Monday twemu there ekuye free NPP for parliamentary candidate na oginam ade ama awomon there ko file court there ono on tias yes easy be a run wabra yamma no kwan ti so hwe video ni there se de NPP for omoni abrepa sisi ade dede hunu pa ana mo ye ede akire easy say omo enya de so mba agree to a year run bia because so far enye 19 polling stations and sesenka of year run ho the other 3 no so uhema omo coalition results enya ade ababonte adinti na no de watcho mabo na oye just 19 polling station omo say bisa easy say omo mo explanation and for that 3 polling station na watcho omabo oye odoko ne Gloryland Hotel and de akeka ho no omo bisa easy questions so no so omema answer no so ho se na be ya omo so omo beto mo na rerun ne pa de enya de se omo betia se ma easy run because omo believe say ya de ekuye free o wini ablekuma nof na easy na mpese obe declare kame set se de enna omo general secretary ebeka se de kame se easy and this for omo ya one no omo de omo gitum pa because first ni nyina nim MPP for the omo ta easy for echi na se kame se de omo a friendship no on the verge of say break it down omo trust easy bill he said omo so on kanokre easy na first no mo ginedin ade se de omo so mo gineni bi on kanokre ti maame no de omo pa free no ho an so be babon ti no be ka say ono de o run no ka so be ye no ono de on ana say court man kwanti afede wasa cancel nti e ka e sad update every rabna open if you ebebro ni ehu de omo press conference ebe ka kusi nti ko so ana hwe channel message so nya subscribe o be subscribe to na fin so wadi ntwe be edifa video ho odoko comment section e baje ni akenkan e ho enso edem sa me de ende makra bye bye.